With you as my love, I don't need nothing. Yeah, I don't need nothing. With you as my love, I don't need the sky. I don't need its thunder. Only you. Only for you I will walk on the highest wire, run myself into the wildest fires. I'd fight through the thickest bramble and briar just to get to you, my lily of the field. With you as my love, well, time does not take, time doesn't take. With you as my love, it only gives to me more of your sweet loving. Only for you I will walk on the highest wire, run myself into the wildest fires. I'd fight through the thickest bramble and briar just to get to you, my lily of the field. Sit there while I tell you just how beautiful you look tonight. As if you haven't heard me say it about 100 times. You shake your head and look away. I promise that I've tried my hardest to let go of this, but every time I think about a world without you in it, my life becomes a darker shade of gray. Hey, hey, and all I wanna do is make you smile. When darkness still ensues, I wanna be your light. Whatever we go through, I'll make it worth your while. 'Cause every minute, every hour, every day I wanna make you smile. Stand there, keep on staring while I tell you that you're all I need. And even though I know you know that I'm a fighting breed, I'm gonna keep on showing you exactly what I mean.